Hi, we're Ashley and Grayson, and we've been traveling full-time for over 3 years. And if you're new here, we just got back from an epic road trip through Canada and Alaska where we had the best time exploring and adventuring and seeing so many new things. And while we were on that trip, we actually hit a milestone of being on the road for 3 years.
So we thought it was a perfect time to just share our experience of what it's like living in a truck camper. Since we've been on the road for 3 years, we've had 5 different rigs, but we've been in a truck camper for 2 of those years. So you can kind of say we enjoyed it a little bit. We currently have a 2017 New Camp Cirrus 820, and all of the propane components have been removed. It's fully solar, and we built the entire truck camper setup to be off-grid for longer periods of time, but let me just show you around. Our entire truck camper setup has really been built to get out there and get further than others, and it's done a great job at that. We've had to do a ton, well not really a ton, but plenty of modifications to our setup to make it the way it is now, to make it ride the way it rides on washboard roads, and then also handle our truck camper a little bit better. And so let's start with our suspension over here. We have a 2.5-inch leveling system by Carly. It's got Fox reservoirs all the way around, and we've also added leafs in the rear, and so this makes this truck a little more off-road capable than most F250 and 350s out there, but also beefier in order to hold all of our weight in our truck camper and all of that. And we've paired all this with these beastly tires. Everyone always asks about them. These are Nitto Trail Grapplers, and they are 35 by 12.5 inch on 20-inch rims. And they've gotten us through mud, they've gotten us through snow, they've gotten us through ice, they've gotten us through sand, and I have no complaints about them. They handle the weight perfectly fine, and we rotate them pretty religiously in order to make sure that they wear evenly and they last longer. And their sister tire we had before this is the Toyo MT, and they lasted us 45,000 miles traveling around the country. And so these are gonna do just as well, if not better, and they've been great so far, but this is not where the modifications end. Let me show you the front of the truck. A couple of modifications we've done on the front end of our truck that we are so thankful for are these lights that we have up here. We have 2 ditch lights as well as a nice big light bar and then 2 fog lights down here, and it's made it so easy to see at night. And we aren't driving on like the highway with these, of course. This is when we get off on those Forest Service roads and it's dark out, and they really help us see a lot further in front of us and just a lot more in general. And then we also have this Fab Fours bumper, which has saved our life at least one time. There's a deer that came out from behind a truck, and unfortunately we did hit the deer, but there was no other damage to our truck. So, you know, that's a good thing right there. That's kind of why you get these big off-road bumpers, is for situations like that. And then we also have this winch that is from Harbor Freight. It's a 12,000-pound winch, and we did use this in Mexico to not only pull ourselves out, but pull other people out. It's been amazing, and we love it. But let me actually show you one huge upgrade on the backside of the truck that I can't go without mentioning. This mod has made it so nice around turns, just with all the weight in the bed, and that is our Hellwig, Big Wig sway bar. Crazy name. And it's helped so much. We actually got it when we had our first truck camper, and it made a world of a difference. And this one's a little bit heavier than our last one, and so you definitely feel the difference with the sway bar. And I recommend, if you have a truck camper or any camper in general, that you go buy one of these today, because they're amazing. It's not sponsored, they're just necessary. Enough with the exterior of the truck, let's move into the interior of the truck. We have a crew cab, which is so nice because we do have 2 dogs, and this is what we built out for them. This is a platform that not only makes it easier for them to see outside of the window, because before the platform, they would sit here with the seats folded up and anxiously like kind of freak out because they couldn't see what was going on. But now they have this dog bed that we literally built so simply out of 2x4s, plywood, and like bracing. And so it works really well. We've had it since before we went to Baja, and it still is holding up so well. But here's their dog bed, and then under the platform we store their dog food, ski boots, workout equipment, like some tarp, a fishing pole. We store all sorts of stuff down here, and it's worked out so well for us. And when I first built this, I put these little hooks here as if I was gonna hang stuff on it. Haven't actually used those. And what you're gonna notice is on both sides of the truck in the door, just a bunch of random stuff, from screwdrivers to locks, workout bands, a light, a bunch of random stuff. And that's kind of like where random stuff goes in the whole lifestyle we live. You just shove it somewhere. But let me show you the other door. On this side, we have a container holding a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, from caulking to an extra water pump, solar wiring, just random stuff that we didn't have a place for. And then we have 2 suitcases. This one is actually full of like ski helmets and that kind of stuff, but we do use it when we're traveling without the camper, as well as this other one. And then we have this cooler and another one that's usually in here that just has extra food. Whenever we want to stay off grid for longer, we pack those up and then we're good. And then I have my backpacking backpack, which goes from inside here to inside the camper to here to there, kind of everywhere. And like I mentioned, miscellaneous items. I mean, I have a bike pedal at the store. We have sunscreen, a book, just random stuff. And you kind of shove stuff back here too. We have shoes, goggles, pickleball stuff, just random stuff. And that's what we've learned about this lifestyle, is you kind of use the space you have and stick stuff where it probably doesn't belong and you're going to forget it's there, but at least you still have it. Another thing that's down here that needs to be mentioned is our Super Truss. This is by Torque Lift, and it's a hitch extension that can bear some weight, but you cannot have this extension without this hitch. And it's been so amazing, and it's allowed us to actually create more storage out here because we have a hitch rack that acts as not only a bike rack but extra storage for our camping equipment. Let me show you. So that Super Truss hitch has allowed us to add on this bike rack. We had a different one before that did not swing, so we had no access to our steps. We had to climb in our camper every single time, but we absolutely love this Yakima Exo system that has a bike rack on top that allows us to carry both of our bikes and also remove them very easily and efficiently. But we also have this Rubbermaid tote down here, which is not the original box that comes on here, but we bought it this way and it works so well. We have all of our backpacking and camping gear in here, and we should probably have it locked, but what's nice about having the bike rack on top is that you can't actually open this unless you swing the bike out of the way, because this entire top section swings out of the way so you can open it. But it's been a lifesaver, and it has increased our storage abundantly, so we could have backpacking gear and our bikes in a way that doesn't affect our way of living. The last thing on the exterior of our camper that I want to talk about are our solar panels. We have 3 200-watt solar panels up here in one series, making a 600-watt series, and this powers our entire camper. And for days where it's shady like it is right now on the panels, we have a generator as well. And having this much solar as well as a little generator has made it so much easier for us to stay out longer and work on the road. But that's kind of everything to wrap up on the exterior of our camper. Let's show you our beautiful little humble abode and get into the interior.
I think Grayson did a great job showing the exterior of the camper and the truck and some of the modifications we've made. And while we haven't made as many inside, there definitely are still a few changes that we want to show you. So go ahead and come inside with me. When you first walk into the camper, on the left is our little closet, and we actually do have these little temperature sensors. We have one down here and one in the bedroom that lets you see the temperature as well as the humidity, which is great. But if you open up our closet, it is very stuffed full, mostly with lots of jackets. And at the top we have some of our puffers and sleeping bags and things like that. And on the bottom I have a bunch of skincare stuff. So this surprisingly fits quite a lot. Probably more in here than there should be. And directly across from our closet is our bathroom. We did put a shoe rack on the back of the door to be able to have somewhere to put our shoes. And this is a wet bath, and it did come with a little place to hang our towels, and we added these little shelves to be able to put some of our stuff. And then since it's a wet bath, of course it has a toilet and the shower pan on the floor, and then the shower head, of course, at the top with a little mirror, which is super nice. Out of the whole interior of our camper, our kitchen is definitely the place that we made the most modifications. Starting off with this little fruit hammock. It has been a big lifesaver, and it has saved us so much storage space. Instead of putting fruits and vegetables and all that kind of stuff in our pantry, we're able to just put it in here, and it looks cute when the vegetables and fruits aren't actually in their bags. And the next thing we did was we replaced the sink that was originally here. It came with a little sink which did the job and it worked fine, but since we are full-time, we switched the sink to a stainless steel sink that is much deeper, and it just fits a lot more and it's much easier to clean stuff. The next thing we did is, since we do not have any propane, we switched out the propane stove for an induction cooktop, which looks really nice and works really great, and we have no complaints with it. Even though this camper is small, it has a good amount of storage. It has some drawers over here, and there's also cabinets above the sink. And then there's this big cabinet down here, which at first was a little bit awkward to use since it is super tall. But what we did was we put this shelf in so we're able to put stuff under it. And then also we put this bin on top to help with organization, as well as just using the space better, and it's been really great. And again, since we did remove the propane, we also removed the propane fridge, and we put in a little dorm style fridge, which works really well. And since we had some extra space, we also put an air fryer where I can bake and cook and do all that kind of good stuff. Right across from the kitchen is our dining room, so it has seats on both sides and then the table in the middle. And what is actually really nice about this is it goes down into a bed, or as we like to call it, couch mode when we're just hanging out. But for the most part, we keep it like this so that we can work on our laptops and eat here and all that good kind of stuff. And underneath the table is where my hiking bag stays, as well as our 3000 watt Victron inverter, which runs everything in here perfectly fine. And then we have 400 amp hours of Battleborn batteries. Last but not least is our bedroom. This is a queen size bed and it fits Grayson, I, and our 2 pups very comfortably, and this bedroom has quite a lot of storage. Up here there's storage. It's not organized, so I'm sorry. Down here there's also storage, as well as back here. So honestly, you can have a good amount of clothes plus the closet that I showed you at the beginning. But my favorite part of the bedroom is the 3 windows. There's a window on each side, so we both get views every single day. And then this window is my absolute favorite because when we're laying here at nighttime and we're in the middle of nowhere, you can open it and see all the stars, and I just love it. And I don't think I could ever have a camper that doesn't have a skylight again. Now that we've shown you around our truck camper and have showed you some of the different modifications and things that we've done to make it more our own, we just wanted to give you some thoughts about the lifestyle and just living in a truck camper in general. Although this lifestyle is so amazing, there are a few things that we could go without. So the first thing is that we do have to be very water conscious. We do have a bigger sink and we have a shower, but we don't use the shower very often because we only have 38 gallons of water and it goes very fast. So the 2 ways that we use the water the most would be 1, washing the dishes, and the second way would be for us drinking the water as well as our 2 dogs. So honestly, it goes very fast. So typically when we do want to take a shower, we'll opt to shower at the gym because we can get a workout in and then go take a nice long hot shower and not have to even reach into any of our water. Another thing that we've noticed about our lifestyle is we do have to be power conscious. We do have a fully solar truck camper, which has been the best thing we've done. We absolutely love it. We don't have to worry about propane or anything like that, which is great on sunny days. However, in Alaska, we had a couple days in a row where it would be raining and our battery would get drained and it would just be a little bit hard to keep up with without a DC to DC charger. Luckily, we do have a generator that works well, but we do want to set back up a DC to DC to be able to keep on top of our power and keep charging. But there are some things that we've done to definitely help with using less energy throughout the day. For example, instead of cooking breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, sometimes for breakfast we'll do something like a cottage cheese bowl or something where we don't have to cook and we can use a little bit less power. And we've really just learned how to make it work, and honestly, just having the solar and being able to run off the sun has been really awesome.
Another thing that's asked about or talked about when you tell people you live in a truck camper is fuel and how large of an expense that can be. Our current truck camper setup is diesel, and it actually allows us to see more while spending less because we do get 12.5 miles per gallon, which doesn't seem like a lot, but compared to our 5th wheel setups when we were getting around 8 to 10 miles per gallon, it is a lot more. So we get around 400 miles on a tank, and for us that works perfectly and we have no complaints in that area at all. We do use Upside to get cash back. This isn't sponsored, and that was just thrown in there because we have actually saved so much money. I think over $800. And a truck camper has really just proven to be the best setup for where we currently are in life. I just love that there are 2 parts to the puzzle, and so if your house breaks, you still have a truck and you can take your camper off, use your truck. And if your truck breaks, you still have a house, you can get a rental car and park your truck camper at a campground or on BLM land or wherever that may be and still have a house. And so that's really a big peace of mind for us. Sometimes we do wish we had a pass through, and then other times we realize that we are just okay without it. And while we enjoy almost everything about this setup, there are a few things we wish we could change or did change from the start. And so one of my biggest dreams is having a flatbed with side boxes for more storage, and we could put a picture on the screen so you get an idea of what we're talking about. But there are some cooking appliances that I and Ashley more than I do wish that we had, and we just don't have the space for. And then we also wish we had more solar and built a rack. So you can build a solar rack that goes over the entire top of the rig and have a lot more solar. While we have room for around 1200 watts on the roof, I think a rack would put us around 15, 16, 1700 watts of solar, which is a lot. But we are so happy with our setup and everything we've done and the entire lifestyle as a whole.
Those were some of the main things that we thought we should mention, but of course with this lifestyle there are a lot of questions and just a lot of variables to it. So if you do have any other questions about truck camping or just this lifestyle in general, definitely feel free to let us know. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here or if you aren't subscribed, please make sure to subscribe for future videos.